Today's Cosplay Con Talk episode is sponsored by Moco Queen Color Contacts. Don't forget to use my code Wayne for 10% off at checkout at mocoqueen.com. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome back to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. I'm once again joined by Amy, also known as Hayacos, and their partner M, who you maybe remember from a previous panel we did last year. I cannot remember what one you guys were on for. I have to
It was
go in the
for the
black.
soccer con
Oh yeah,
one.
the soccer con
Yeah.
convention recap. Yeah, we don't talk about that con.
Oh, yeah. Shh. It's already passed. It's fine.
Hopefully they've got there no disrespect to that con. Hopefully things have gotten better for that con. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about your guys' cosplay journey and experiences and all that stuff from the cons you've done, the cosplays you've done, cosplays you want to do, cons you want to go to, and just general advice and everything. So to begin, starting off with you, Amy,
Yeah.
how long have you been into cosplay for and what got you into it?
Oh man. I started my very first convention was SoccerCon 2011. So I was still in high school when I started entering into conventions, and I was already in like what they call back in the day is like the nerd scene, the geek scene, like the weeaboo. So I was already super into anime. I was super into video games, and that was just like the natural next progression for me. I had gotten a it was like an advertisement almost for SoccerCon. And I had like gone to my mom and said, I really want to do this. Like, I really want to go to this convention because it is something I'm super interested in. Like, these are my hobbies. This is my niche, and I could really like make friends in this convention and take friends with me, and we could all have like a really great time. And I thought in the beginning that everyone was expected to cosplay.
I mean that's I think that's like generally fair everyone's expectations when you first hear about and see about cons and cosplay, especially back then.
Exactly. So, like, imagine this little, like, 16, 17-year-old me. My mom had bought a handmade costume from China. So basically like a machine-made costume because I wanted to be a character that you couldn't find a costume for. I wanted to be Kira from Jack and Daxter.
Oh wow, that's isn't she have like what blue hair?
She had like a greenish blue, like a
Oh yeah,
teal, like ombre.
Jack too, huh?
She was from the original Jack and Daxter.
Oh
That's the
right,
outfit
right,
that I
right.
wanted to do.
Okay, let me look her
But
up.
the
Continue.
You were all good, but the biggest problem was the crop top because I was a minor at the time and she has a crop top. My mom didn't know what she was paying for, so I sent in the pictures and I got the costume.
Oh yeah,
And not all,
for anyone wondering,
okay.
this is her from
Yes,
the first Jack and Daxter game.
that is exactly the costume. So I got that. One, it looked almost nothing like that. So everything was made with fabric. The hand warmers, the shoes, and then her goggles were made out of foam. So I had received like this weird like looking foam piece. And then there was a big hullabaloo over this crop top, right? So my mom didn't even know until I put on the outfit and we were actually at the convention. Like we had talked about it, and she said, you need to put on a tank top under that outfit. And then we go to the convention. I don't listen to her. I like take off my sweater and it's just like totally like belly out, and like at that point there was no return. So we only went for one day. I went with one of my friends from high school, and my mom begrudgingly walked around with us even though she hated every second of it, but I loved every second. And I've been going to conventions ever since. So that was like, gosh, 2011.
So 13 years.
13 years. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're in the category, as I put, if you've been cosplaying for and going to conventions for more than 10 years, you are a cosplay veteran. You have seen everything from whether it's the glom circles to yaoi paddles
I've seen it all. Yep.
to
I
seeing it
remember
all.
their conception. Yep. I never really like contributed with them, but I was definitely in fandoms that made them as big as they are. Yes. Mhm.
Um, since you're on here as well, Em, same question. What made you want to get into and how long you been doing it for?
I am not as much of a veteran. I got into cosplay in college because my roommates were into it. So I was roomed with some friends from school. Weird story, my dorm roommate was independently wealthy at 19. She bought a house and she wanted all of her friends to live
At
there.
19,
Yes.
Jesus.
She
Goes
was
out old money.
independent. Yeah, old money from the East
Old
Coast.
money.
So I'm from the East Coast. It might help you a little bit. I'm from the East
Okay,
Coast.
so that makes sense.
So old money from the panhandle of West Virginia. I don't know why, but so we all moved in. Most of us were already knew each other because we were already like hanging out and like playing games together and watching movies. But my friend Sarah, who is a couple years older than me, was into cosplay and she had a whole group. She'd been doing it since she was 15 or 16, similar age to you. But she wanted everyone to go to conventions with her and start cosplaying. So we all started cosplaying. My first convention, I think, was Otakon.
I've heard of Otakon.
Yes, Otakon is
the big one.
the big one on the East
Hmm.
Coast. So I think it was 2013 or 2014 that was that convention. I think I was like a sophomore in college.
You're
So
still
yeah,
pretty
you're still in the category of cosplay veteran, as I say, 10 plus years. Then you've
Yes,
seen it
I
all.
haven't been. I don't think I've been doing it as consistently because I did take like a two,
No,
three-ish break.
it still counts. It still counts.
You
But
still were there.
I was there.
You were there.
My first costume, I think, was Punk Chibi Moon, Chibiusa, with a whole Sailor Moon group. We're all
Wait,
dressed
wait,
up.
you were who?
Chibiusa, Chibi Moon from Sailor
Oh,
Moon.
Serena's daughter.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
I am 4'10" and everyone wanted me to be
The
a
little
small
one.
child.
Man, I can imagine
So
like the wig and everything because Chibi has like pretty big
yeah,
pink
she's got
hair.
big hair. We had one of those wigs. I think it was a Five Wits when they had, so the Five Wits is a wig company, then they usually pre-style stuff or they come pre-styled. So it had clip-on like pieces.
Oh yeah, I've seen those, and you can even make it now where you can like put magnets in your wig to
Yes,
hold them onto.
exactly. It was a wig like that. And it was we all made like punk variants. So we all had a different take on it. And we had a big photo shoot. First con ever, first cosplay ever. I had a big photo shoot with like the whole cast of Sailor Moon where we were all coming together from different places on the East Coast and doing this shoot.
Nice.
But that was one of my first ones. I think Free, the anime Free was really big that year. And I literally can't remember anyone's name in that anime, but I was the blonde one that's kind of annoying. Um
The Shota,
the
if you
show
will.
yes, I was the Shota. Yes, I
Isn't
was the
Free that swimming anime?
yes, Free is the swimming anime, but we did gender bent versions. So
Okay,
I was in a regular swimsuit, like a one piece, like a speedo type, like a like a lap swimming swimsuit with like
gotcha.
longer wig and like we had inflatable water toys, the big ones. Mine was like a whale or something. I can't remember because they all had animals that were associated with them. I literally cannot remember.
I've never seen the anime. I am not really big into I'm
But
not really big into
like
sports animes. No offense to
Yeah.
anyone
so
who's into
we
that.
had a we had a full group of us though, and we were all gender bent, and we would sit on the inflatable things, and people would take pictures of us. So we all sat in this one room, basically in at Otakon, and we could not get up because we kept getting photographed
Uh,
constantly. It
Because it was
was
the full group.
the whole group,
and it was
and we're
big,
all
and
girls.
and the anime was big at the time too. And you're also gender bend, so you put two and two together.
Yes, so that's some of my fond memories of my first Otakon and my two first costumes that I put together. Well, I didn't really, because Sarah kind of funded my costumes. I didn't have any money, but Sarah also was sort of independently wealthy. from a richer family, she was able to kind of just buy everything for people and just
Trust
Mm,
fund, baby.
yeah, trust fund kid, you know.
Mhm.
So I had a lot of wealthy friends that got me into cosplay.
mm.
Mhm.
Well, you guys already both answered questions about your first con experiences. I guess, now to get into the con questions.
Mhm.
It's back to you, Amy. For those who are wanting to go to their first con, what advice would you like to give? Whether it's a big con, small con, whether it's in their home state, hometown, or they want to travel? Because I know you guys have traveled for cons too.
Mhm. Um, my biggest advice would honestly be invest in your planning process. So before going to a convention, obviously the goal is to have fun, but what I often missed out on when I was first going to conventions was I would often get overwhelmed with all of the content that you could go to and experience at conventions.
Part two.
So, what I've learned from that is actually like downloading their scheduling app and then fully like planning out your free time, what panels you want to go to, any kind of like if you do want to go in cosplay, like if there's any friends that could take photos for you, you could call those your photo shoots. I would really plan it out because then you're able to do and experience the things that you want to get out of the convention. So many times I have lost track of time because I'm having like fun with my friends, or I'm walking around, or I'm hanging out in the exhibitors hall, and I end up missing the panels that I really want to go to. So I would like my number one recommendation or advice would be as soon as that schedule is out, please like pick one or two things to do and then build your schedule around those things.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree, and I'm sure you can both agree that when it comes to the first day of the con, definitely pace yourself because, day one's not bad. Day two, from experience going to Kamori Con, it can get busy and you're just everywhere.
Oh yeah, especially when like it's great going to late night panels, but also make time to get like at least like 6 hours of sleep.
Oh,
Otherwise you're not going to enjoy the rest of your convention experience. I get it. We're all excited. We're all running off the adrenaline, but you're going to be hating life the next day if you're not taking care of yourself too. So
oh
like
yeah.
drink water, get plenty of sleep, and you can like maximize your fun time if you take care of yourself first.
Oh yeah, no. Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Same question for you, Em. Advice for someone who wants to go to their first con, whether it's a big con, small con, or as I call it, they don't want to go to Disneyland, they want to go to Disney World. And
Exactly.
Oh my God.
and point in case like PAX or Anime Expo or Dragon Con.
For their first convention ever, that would be absolutely
I
overwhelming.
mean, my first convention ever was a big convention, like
Mhm.
the big convention. So like I think I see no issue with going to a massive convention as your first convention. The only thing
Mhm.
is have a buddy.
Mhm.
Have a cosplay buddy.
Yes,
Like
convention exit buddy is what we call it on here.
yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
So someone who could be your DD.
Yes, but like, well, yeah, basically, but like,
Or your handler.
or your handler, or someone else who has been cosplaying for some time and like will invite you to things or will like, be like prioritizing certain things. You can watch them that way. Like I honestly, but I say this that I have a buddy because I've had buddies at conventions, but I also none of my friends or buddies, so to speak, really went to panels. I didn't start going to
Mhm.
panels until I met Amy, and we
And
started
I was
going
like,
to
no, we gotta
we
schedule
gotta
this.
go to
We
panels.
We're going to panels. We gotta like,
So like
we got these badges. We paid for
we
these
paid for
badges. We
these
gotta get our money's worth.
2 stuff that you paid for, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess conventions aren't just one giant party
Yeah.
with your friends. You actually pay money to be here for a good reason. And it's not just to buy more stuff and pay money for more stuff. But like, yeah, I think having a cosplay buddy, particularly having a cosplay buddy that's interested in doing the convention and not necessarily just drinking, which is a huge thing in the East Coast conventions. A lot of them are very much party
Oh
conventions.
yeah, no. I from Atlanta to Washington to I wouldn't really say over here, but like in even Vegas, because they got Level Up Expo and they got alcohol to sell as well. And I do agree. Always have a convention exit buddy, especially if you also need someone to be your handler or to hold stuff with you to have, as I call it, that pack mule.
Mhm.
Um,
It helps.
oh no, wholeheartedly. And I'm sure another thing you guys can agree on, because we live here in the Pacific Northwest. When it comes to cons and traveling, always do your research on the weather.
Oh yeah,
The weather.
absolutely. Yeah. If
Weather
you
goes.
can, like if you know what time of year the convention is happening, also like if you want to cosplay, plan your costumes for the weather as well. So like KomoriCon used to be held in September, like over Labor Day weekend. And it was very, very hot. And I would bring costumes that were not breathable for the weather. I've also brought costumes to KomoriCon within the past couple years where it's held in November now and
Oh
the
yeah.
weather has completely changed. So I always make sure to bring something to bundle myself up in when I'm not, getting photos done or like actually
Yeah.
posing for people to take photos of me. I always bring like sweaters.
Same.
Yeah, just like plan for the weather, plan your costumes around the weather. And if there is like a more revealing costume, maybe save it for a summer convention where you like won't be freezing your butt off. And
Yes.
also like for a winter convention or yeah, for a summer convention, don't dress too warmly. Otherwise you are going to have a hot flash and you are going to pass out.
Oh
Get
yeah,
sleepy.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, for a con like KomoriCon is held in November, it is a fall con. And I know you guys dressed accordingly. You guys were what? I know you were a member of Team Rocket, and what did you go as again?
You were Penny.
That's Penny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
was in
Penny
Uh,
from
Penny.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was in
with
Penny.
the with the red with the red and teal color hair?
Yeah, red and blue. Yeah, the red and blue
Yeah.
wig and the big Eevee backpack. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was me.
We also brought other Pokemon cosplays. We brought Cyrus and Saturn to that
Ooh.
one, which
Yeah.
like fully clothed,
Yeah,
like
very.
long sleeve shirt, long pants.
I
So we
don't
were pretty cool.
I just don't know how someone who wants to go to a fall or winter con, and I'm not harping on you. Like, props to you if you're able to have your body temperature is warm enough to where you can go to a fall or winter con and like be like, I don't know, Junko Inoshima from Danganronpa.
Oh yeah,
She's
girl.
not. She's not so bad. It's. I would say that the worst ones I've ever seen are Katsucon is a East Coast convention. It is
Hmm.
in February.
I've heard of Katsu as well.
Katsu, and it is on the water, so it's on the National Harbor, and there were Kill La Kill cosplayers there.
Oh, those poor girls. Oh.
Just skimp
Ooh.
nothing.
I mean,
Oh.
Kill la Kill outfits are in general just, especially when the main character's, does her transformation thing and the
Mhm.
antagonist and it's just, whole just like
Just
probably here, here, here,
all of it.
maybe
Mhm.
here, but everything else is just like the
All
parts
exposed.
the parts you normally try to keep warm are exposed. We're not harping on Kill la Kill cosplayers. Like you
No,
guys gotta do
No,
your
the
job, but
absolutely.
outfit's great.
It's a
Nice drop.
summer
but like,
costume, so
please
wear it in the
do
summer.
your research for
Yeah.
weather,
Yeah,
especially whether it's here on the West Coast. Especially East Coast can get a lot colder over there too.
it was -5 that year.
Oh,
Hmm.
god damn.
That's another thing that you should watch for when you plan for the weather is body paint as well. You don't want to go to a convention where you know it's going to rain.
Or it's be too
Because
or it's too hot and your body paint just starts cracking and everything.
Yeah.
exactly. Yes. For all those Homestuck cosplayers, I used to cosplay Homestuck at Sakura-con, and 2 out of those 3 days there is always rain. So I would just confine myself within the convention and not outside
Oh,
because
you
I did
know.
not want my body
Home
paint to melt.
Homestuck has definitely been mentioned a lot, especially the old story of the Sharpie bath of Homestuck cosplayers.
Sharpie bath?
Oh, I never did the Sharpie bath.
No.
I
Mm-mm.
don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's been Homestuck has been mentioned quite a bit when people have first started out cosplaying. Was Homestuck was the biggest thing back then.
Yeah, that was really big. My first year in college, that's when I cosplayed from Homestuck. I cosplayed like 3 characters from the series. And so the biggest issue with Homestuck cosplayers at the time, and this was something that I took into account when I built my costumes, was that the body paint. At the time, we did not have the arm sleeves to change the colors on our hands and arms. So we would do full body paint on our hands, and we would also do obviously body paint on our body and our face. The problem was is that the Homestuck cosplayers, they would also paint the inside of,
Mm-hmm.
and your hand oils do not mix with the body paint very
Mm-mm.
well. It turns into like a gray sludge because all of the Homestuck trolls are gray. So I took this into account when I did my Homestuck cosplays because I did not want to get gray paint all over everyone. Is that I would only paint the tops of my hands and I would leave
Oh yeah. I mean,
my palm
nowadays we got
exposed because you can grab things for posing. You can do like different kinds of poses where the palms of your hands are not exposed.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, no. I mean, nowadays we got arm stocks from the website, especially like now the website We Love Colors. They even have like full on like full on bodysuits now from your hands. They even make ones that even like, they're like the foot socks now where you can like
Like
even
the
show your yeah,
yes, and
kind of
like
like
the full body suits as
yeah,
well.
there's yeah, they have like full
Homestuck
they have the
walk so everyone else could
Yes,
run.
they have,
exactly.
like I said, they have the full body suits where you can move your hands, you can even move your toes if you want to, because even like they're like toe things now too for like full on body suits, which
Mhm.
anyone who wants to cosplay as a tiefling from Baldur's Gate, there you go.
Exactly. And that was the
Or
other
more
thing with
Homestuck.
Homestuck was during, yeah, like within the process and evolution of Homestuck cosplay, there were tutorials on how to make your own arm socks. So again, Homestuck walked so that everyone else could
Oh
run
no,
with.
and
Now you have companies where you can buy them instead of making them yourself.
I mean, you guys answered my question about makeup stuff, which I usually ask during cosplay stuff, but I'm sure you can also agree that for anyone who does body paint, always always test on your arm before you full body because you don't want to break out or your skin get irritated.
Absolutely. Yes, you always want to patch test even when you're doing regular makeup.
Yeah.
There are certain brands, so I have really, really sensitive skin. And there are a lot of brands that I can't wear. That's why usually when I cosplay, I don't do a whole lot of makeup. And there are like certain aspects of makeup that will like make me break out into hives. So always test your makeup, whether it be body paint or like regular makeup, just because you don't know how your skin's going to react, and there's not a guarantee that the brand that you're using is going to react well with your
Yeah.
skin.
No, no,
Mm.
I wholeheartedly agree. Or especially if you like, because they even have like temporary hair dyes. Because Maron has their own brand of temporary hair dye too, whether for your hair or for your beard, or which I think is kind of cool. But like I
Mhm.
said, test like on a little strand of hair, make sure it doesn't get irritated, or your arms, because you never
Mhm.
know.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Any product really.
Another question, it actually pertains to traveling.
Mhm.
What are your like when you guys plan for a convention and everything? What's traveling like from booking the hotel to traveling to the con? Any advice you want to give when it comes to traveling and booking for cons? Mainly like the booking for whether it's a hotel or Airbnb or whatever. Whoever wants to go first.
So I do the hotel bookings for Emily and myself. I always like to look at proximity first. So price is very important, and proximity to the convention is also very important because I've been in hotels where it's like a half-mile trek, and I've been in hotels where it's like a quarter mile to maybe a 10-minute walk. And that really saves your feet, especially when you're, at a convention walking all day. Like I'd say on average, we walk about 6 miles a day every
Ooh.
day at a convention. So proximity, number one. Pricing number two, you do want to book those hotels early because the closer you get to the convention, the more you put off getting your hotel, the more expensive it's going to be.
Right.
So if you know you're for sure going to go to a convention, book it out 5 months ahead.
Yeah.
Like even before the tickets go on sale, book your hotel because the chances are, even if you can't make it, you can always cancel it. Like hotels always have a cancellation
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
policy.
Oh yeah. And I
So
know, yeah, I know I agree on that. Go ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
Oh, you're totally fine. So that's just something that I wanted to reiterate. Oh my gosh, what was I gonna say around travel? Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay. Um, and now for you, Em, I'm sure you can also agree when it comes to traveling or going to the con, it's always to have a set budget.
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't pack our years full of conventions, so like we kind of know when roundabout we're gonna be spending the money to do it. It's pretty well spent, like pretty well planned. Like for instance,
Planning.
Amy and I have
Plan.
been doing KomoriCon and SakuraCon pretty much since we've been together. And we know when those happen. We know when to plan ahead, when we just need to set money aside.
The dates are usually set at the end of the convention that you're at for
Prior.
the next year.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
now we're
I'm glad they always do that. Like when cons like, hey, we just into this one, here's when the next one is.
yes.
Exactly. And
I
that's
love
usually in
that.
the closing ceremonies too. It's like a big reveal and everybody gets all excited and
I know.
claps. So it
Um,
really, really helps when they give you those dates ahead of time for
Oh
you to
yeah.
plan. Like if you love the convention, plan already for next year. Like for PAX West, we know
we're
we want to
doing
go to
that.
PAX West
We
again
do.
next year. They already announced their
The
dates.
dates. So we can get a hotel. We can set a hotel aside now if we wanted to.
A year in advance.
With no
Nice.
money down.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
I mean, that's always a good thing. I mean, I know when I did KomoriCon, I definitely had to save for that. I mean,
Mm.
I had some money, so it's like, well, that this is the big one we're doing at the end of the year, and that's it for now. No big cons for like another year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like at least for us, it's a good thing that KomoriCon is basically at our back door, or, like in
Yeah,
our
in our
backyard.
backyard.
So we at least don't have to get hotel for that. But knowing that, we do plan our cosplays again accordingly because we do have to drive into Portland every day. We can't
Yeah.
just like walk out of our hotel
Right.
and be able to like go back and change because it's about a 30-minute drive from our house to Portland.
Yeah.
So usually for KomoriCon, we'll either bring like a change of costume with us with similar makeup, so we don't have to change our makeup.
Yep.
Or for KomoriCon, we'll just do one costume. We won't even
One
do a
costume a
midday
day.
change.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I don't know how cosplayers can like you see when they put well, you see when the con posts like, oh, what are you gonna do for these days? You see like, oh, I'm gonna do this for this day, and day two I'm gonna do this one, and then that one, and then day three I'm gonna do this one. That's like,
Oh yeah.
okay, good, good for you if you're able to do that. I just, cosplay one
Oh
or two
yeah.
days because my body can't only take so much.
Oh, I remember the days back in like the mid 2010s.
Oh yeah.
When people would plan out a AM cosplay and a PM cosplay.
We did
And
that.
then even on day 3, there was like a AM cosplay and like an afternoon cosplay for after the convention's already done and they still want to party.
I
Oh yeah.
will raise you this the day zero.
The day zero
The day
costume.
zero
Yes.
cosplay, and then an AM PM, AM PM, AM
Oh,
PM.
Yes. Gotta get like 6 costumes in there.
Like yeah, like 7 freaking costumes.
I don't know how people do like, the AM, the midday, and then the late for like, the 18 plus, and then there's like, the day zero where they want to go to the con, get their badges, and then go out with their friends, and, get plastered at like the nearest bar or
That was
whatever.
That is her
that was
experience.
my experience for the first many years when I was cosplaying.
It's like
That was
it's
what we
like
did.
the older you get, it's like you don't really want to go out and drink. You just want to go out with some friends who are a restaurant and just stuff your face with burgers or whatever.
That's a great point for planning. That's a
Mhm.
great point to your planning, your travel planning question because
Mhm.
while Amy handles the hotel and like that kind of stuff for like mostly for SoccerCon and PAX,
Mhm.
I make reservations at least 2 weeks in advance for restaurants that we want to go to, so we don't have to wait in line.
Oh my
No,
God,
no,
it has
because
saved our bacon at soccer
So good.
con so many years.
Because you got to eat.
oh no, you got to eat, and energy drinks don't count. I hate
No,
to say it.
they don't
You're
count.
Well,
like,
see the
let me.
pub. Go ahead.
Sorry, I see a cat. I got distracted.
Oh yes, sorry.
We always allow pet cameos on here. So if you want to show off your cat, you're more than welcome to.
Oh,
Well, he's
good.
having a sit.
His name is
No.
Frisk. He's 8 years old. He is a
Oh.
Manx cat, which means he's a bobtail.
Aw. Aw.
Yeah. But gosh, to my point, I was gonna say, especially at SoccerCon, there are hardly any food options in the area of Seattle that it is held. So usually the restaurants in the area, if you want to eat, you will be waiting in line for an hour to 2 hours just to get
Even just
food.
like if there's the Red Robin nearby, you're still
Oh
waiting.
yeah. No, you're
Yes.
still waiting.
And someone who loves Red Robin, I will keep that in mind if I ever go up there for PAX or SoccerCon in the future.
There's so SoccerCon specifically has a all not Olive Garden, what is it?
Cheesecake
Factory.
Factory.
There's a Cheesecake Factory right next to the convention center. Now,
Oh my gosh.
that is a 4-hour wait, sir.
That is
That is a 4-hour wait on Saturday.
If you
And
don't plan, and they don't take
they take
reservations.
they take reservations. Oh no, they
but
take
not for con weekends.
not for the weekends the conventions
Oh
are
no,
held.
I'm fully aware of seeing a place packed. I remember going to
Wild.
KomoriCon. I remember KomoriCon going to Burgerville and like seeing how packed it was.
Speaking of Red Robin.
It's literally up the road from the con, past the
Yeah.
hotel. Which brings me to my next question. And I'm sure you guys are. What are your thoughts on when like hotels, like the host hotels for a con? Because we always know those hotels are be the first to be packed, whether it be for the guest or someone who has the money and time to invest in pre-booking.
So, I mean, you've heard like our experiences with reserving hotels ahead of time. So if you reserve a hotel through the convention website, it is always going to be more expensive than if you were to do your own research. So I would actually stray away from booking hotels through the convention website because there is going to be an upcharge. They're going to know that those hotels and those rooms are going to be sold out on day one, and they can charge whatever they want because people want the convenience.
I have a point to that though, because it works for the conventions that we go to now, but East Coast conventions, there are a handful that have the host hotel is the convention, and there are no other hotels in the area. So you have to book through them.
Oh,
That's
God.
KatsuCon and Colossal Con specifically.
And I even just looked at Otacon's website and how they already have the hotel block set up for 2025.
Yep.
Like, geez, I guess they know that people are gonna want to book right away. Good God.
Yeah, I think for
Mm.
that convention in particular too, it's so popular that they just open up reservations months in advance.
But at least for Otakon, at the very least, I know they moved it since the last time I went, but I'm pretty sure there are other hotels in the area. That is not the case with the Gaylord with KatsuCon. There is no other hotel. It is the Gaylord.
Naturally, that makes sense.
But I guess
Now,
that's just built into the cost of just going to
It's
that
very,
hotel,
very
so you kind of
expensive.
have to like plan the room's just going to be really expensive.
Yes, it is very.
Now on to the final question for conventions. Whoever wants to answer this first, or you both can. Future cons you plan on going to for the remainder of the year, or a con you would like to go to, as I call it, a dream con. It's a con you haven't been able to go to yet because money, and it's just out of the way, whether it's here in the States or out of the country.
Okay. I guess there's a few conventions that I want to shout out. So a convention that I am going to be currently going to, it's going to be the last convention of the year for me, is obviously KomoriCon. So we already have our tickets for KomoriCon. Like I said, it's in our backyard, so it's really easy and accessible for us to go
I mean,
to.
you can just literally stand in your house and like, oh, there's a convention.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that we have planned for the remainder of the year. We were thinking of buying just a 1-day pass for Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Yeah.
We do have friends that are going to that convention. But we are coming back from a week-long vacation. So we wouldn't be able to go for the whole 3 days. We were just planning on going to that convention for one
Saturday.
day.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with just going to a con for one day because
Oh,
and will this be your first time going, or have
No,
you gone
we've
before?
we've been a couple times. We've been about twice before.
We've been twice. The first time we went, it was a 1-day only convention. And then the second time it got massively bigger.
Oh yeah, I know.
We also only went for 1 day because of a specific YouTuber was there that was doing a panel that we wanted to go see.
Yeah.
Ooh, who was the if you're able to say who was the YouTuber?
Yeah,
It's Cat Icarus.
yeah, Icarus on YouTube.
He had flown
I've
from the UK.
And
Oh
it was his
wow.
first convention that he did outside of the UK. So the
Yeah.
first convention in the US that he did a
That's
panel.
pretty cool.
Really
I mean,
cool.
from what I've seen about Portland Registered Gaming Expo and having the opportunity to talk interview the people who are hosting it, it looks like a really cool con. And it's just like, okay, not next year, but maybe the year after, we'll go up to Portland again.
Oh yeah, I highly
It's really
recommend that
nice.
convention. Like we've been a couple times and have had a great time and it expands vastly,
Oh yeah, no,
significantly every year.
from what Hans was saying that they're going to be expanding even more this year to where they eventually want to have the whole convention.
Yeah, that is
Yay.
awesome. I'm so like happy to hear that. We do have a friend who has a retro game store here in Portland and she booths every year
Ooh,
at one.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
total.
please do. It's Total Games, but they have a physical location right across the street from the Oregon Convention Center and they also booth.
Oh, sweet. That see that place is on my list to check out because I even saw another place in Portland called Stumptown Otaku is another
Yes,
place.
Yes,
they're
yes, we've
great.
been.
They're
Yeah.
fantastic.
I like I have to check them out too. So when I go up to Portland next year for Rose City, I'll have to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then for my last convention, or actually, so
Your
for a
dream
convention that I want to go to, I want to go to SAC Anime.
Really,
So we're planning on that.
I can recommend it is a really good con. I went back in 2019 with my sister.
Oh, that is awesome. My mom currently lives in Sacramento, so it would be a really, really easy convention for us to go to. And it just sounds like a lot of fun. And then Dream Convention would probably be an East Coast convention, so probably
Ooh.
Otakon.
Ooh.
Otakon.
Mm-hmm.
I
I haven't
mean,
been so
for
long.
someone who's been there, you'll kind of have an idea. I mean, I know it's
It's
changed.
it's moved and it's gotten bigger and it's no longer in Baltimore, it's in DC now, so it's different,
Yeah, I
but
was just selling. It was in yeah, Washington D.C.
yep, it's in DC, which is kind of my backyard back home. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Northern Virginia. So DC is right there.
Nice.
The main reason why I want to go to Otakon is because I have a lot of mutual friends on Instagram that go to that convention every year. It would
Nice.
be my first time meeting them, so really want to plan to go just so I can like, meet the people that I've bonded with online for years and just have never had the opportunity
Yeah.
to meet them in person.
Nice.
Mhm.
What about you, Em? What's your dream con?
My dream con, okay, I I have like two. There's
Yeah.
one I'm gonna give you two. So the
Okay.
first one is Dragon Con.
Really
I
good con and
believe
has been mentioned on this channel for the past 3 years.
That's
I've
awesome.
never been to Dragon Con. My friends used to go, like my cosplay friend group used to go. But for some reason I never went or I wasn't invited. I don't know. Um, but I never went with them. And it always looks like a great time. I know a lot of East Coast cosplayers that
Oh
go.
yeah, same here.
Most of my
Mhm.
friends, really big name folks. I know that the panels there are really good. They always bring in great talent. So that's one, and I know it's in Atlanta, which is I've never really explored, and I'd love to.
Mhm.
So that's one. The second one is the Warframe convention, which is TennoCon, which is in London, Ontario, Canada, and it's
Warframe, like based off the online game Warframe.
yes,
Yep,
yes,
yep.
the
Okay,
Warframe convention.
I have played Warframe before for the Xbox.
Yes,
There
yes,
is like an entire convention
convention.
put on by the developers of the game every year in Ontario, Canada,
Yes,
right?
Oh,
yes,
Yeah.
that is pretty cool. And I know
yes,
with Dragon Con, I know an actor, Mark Meer, frequents that con a lot for the guy who voiced in Mass Effect.
yes. He's there a lot.
He was there this year, and I saw his pictures on Instagram. And he
That's awesome.
always cosplays, so it's like,
That's fun.
but
That is
Dragon Con is probably the coolest con. So, now to cosplay questions, and we already talked about some cosplay questions.
Mhm.
Um, so back to you, Amy.
Mhm.
So, this one I always ask, what advice would you like to give for a cosplayer who is on a budget or just getting started and they don't really have a whole lot of money and they have limited skills when it comes to wanting to cosplay for the first time?
I like to call this cosplay thrifting. I have done it in the past. So basically you choose a character that obviously you love, or you choose a character from a show that you love that you want to represent. And that character does have a few stipulations. It's basically like um actual streetwear, and then you thrift those items. So what I've done in the past, because I have cosplay from as characters that have streetwear, it will like say give Homestuck as an example. Like they wear gray pants and then shirts with like their painted symbols. What I did for those costumes was I went to Goodwill. I thrifted the pants. I thrifted the black turtleneck shirt, and then I just got fabric paint from Michaels. Made a little stencil for myself, and then painted over the stencil. Boom, you have a costume. And then for wigs, gosh, yeah. Well, there are stipulations on Amazon too, because there are a lot of really, really bad wigs on Amazon. So
Mhm.
I would always recommend like reading the reviews, not just looking at the 5-star reviews, because some of those could be like paid reviews,
Oh
but
yeah.
actually like reading the reviews, seeing photos of the wig before you buy it. But you can cosplay on a budget with a wig from Amazon as well. Facebook Marketplace also, I am part of a cosplay, it's like a cosplay sales 2.0 is what it's
I'm
called.
part of that one. I've been part of that for years. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, and people are selling their used costumes and wigs that like some of them haven't even been styled, and you can get them at a deep discount, like 10, 15 bucks a wig. And the
Mhm.
costumes as well, if you can find them in your size. I haven't done this yet just because like I like to make my own costumes. But I have considered messaging some of those cosplayers with they will have handmade costumes for sale at a fraction of probably the cost that they even um
Made them.
paid to make.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I would also recommend like sites like Facebook Marketplace.
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree, and there's nothing wrong. Like, even if you've been doing it for years, and I know some people like, well, you've been doing it for years. Why are you still like, well, there's nothing wrong, as I call it, comfort cosplays. I'm someone who
Mhm.
will like go on Amazon, eBay, and find stuff and like just, you know, do a little Minecraft creation and boom,
Yes.
you
Oh
know?
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
It's worked fairly well.
So I've cosplayed Vincent Brooks from Catherine, and those pants, he has like red corduroy pants that I like literally could not find. One day I found a pair of them in the men's section at H&M. They were like $40, like the exact corduroy pants that he
Oh,
wears.
the main character from Catherine, who
Yep.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
I've never played the game, but it's from the same people who've made Persona. He's voiced by Troy Baker.
For Baker.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It is one of my
I'm familiar
favorite
with
games.
his outfit where he's wearing the boxers and he has the horns.
Yes.
Yes, that would be such like an easy, again, a thrifted
Except
cosplay.
for the chest plate.
You could easily get like a pair
Could
of
do that.
white underwear and just paint little pink circles on
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
Boom,
And
you're done. Get
and
some like ram horns on Amazon and you
and there
got
you
it.
go, and there you go.
So good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Same question for you, Em. Same question I asked Amy. And what's been your favorite thrifted cosplay?
My favorite thrifted oh gosh. I don't even have to think about that. Honestly, my advice is the same as Amy's. Same. You can get stuff from the thrift store. You can get stuff on Amazon. I'm trying to think of a good thrifted cosplay that I had.
I think
Oh,
your
What
Chloe
about,
one was a good one
yeah, I was
from
gonna say
Chloe
Chloe.
was not entirely thrifted. That was mostly closet. That kind of counts as a
that
slightly.
I count that. I still count that if you're taking stuff from out of your closet, that still counts.
That's budget.
That was
That's
budget
budget.
for me. I think my favorite now I remember my favorite thrifted cosplay was Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls because I would buy sweaters from like just different kinds of chunky knit sweaters, and then I would go and purchase
Like
felt, and I
Mhm.
would sew her. I would make the patterns that she puts on her that's on her sweaters, and I would sew them onto the
Nice.
cable knit. And it looks, I mean, it's fine. Like people enjoyed them. I wouldn't say they're high quality, but it definitely got the job done and it was on a budget.
But nowadays you could probably do the same thing with felt and then you could just embroider the edges so the
Yeah.
whole thing looks
Invisible
embroidered.
thread would be a better option because I didn't use it then. But
Oh, that's
that
right. Invisible thread is a thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
really like thin fishing wire.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of my Maples, all of the Maples that I did, which I did like multiple costumes for her. I did like maybe 4 or 5. So I did
Nice.
her for many years.
Oh,
We're all
nice. Did you have a Waddles with you?
I did. I had the official Waddles that they sold.
Oh, nice.
And it was just I have it upstairs somewhere still.
Oh yeah,
Have you done her bedazzled face look yet?
I did not do that one, but I did do a Bill Cipher variant where I was covered in blood.
Ooh.
Very fun.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
It was fun.
Now actually this brings me on to because I know both of you make your cosplays, right?
Well, I I do all of the sewing for both of our cosplays. I also do the wig work for both of us, but Emily does all the props because I am just like
doing everything else.
Prop illiterate.
Just
she's not prop illiterate. She's just doing everything else.
just go to the cosplay blacksmith, basically.
Yep, actually though.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be on a t-shirt, cosplay blacksmith.
Cosplay blacksmith.
Yes.
Now that's an idea. For all of those like wanting to open a cosplay prop shop.
Now that would be huge.
That's a good name.
So, Em, what's been your favorite prop you made, whether it's for you or whether it's been for Amy?
Let's see. So I'm not to the level of making my own 3D prints or anything like that. So I usually do buy the 3D print stuff.
And there, again, there is nothing wrong with that.
It's pre-modeled and pre-printed because I don't have the modeling.
So basically, all you could just have to do is like paint it or make a few tweaks.
You basically finish it. So you
put I've seen those on Etsy. Yeah.
Yeah, you basically get raw prints and you have to sand them down and then put them together and then keep sanding them down and then filler primer them and paint them and seal them.
It's an art in itself. It's like to make it look really smooth and natural.
It's really hard to do. My favorite one was my Hollow Knight. That seller that made the mask and the nail, he was so excited that I had a full costume made that he currently uses my photo of me in my costume for his listing on Etsy.
And Hollow Knight is a really good game, and I've seen it in the past few years. I've seen an influx of Hollow Knight cosplayers.
And so many.
Oh yeah, especially with the anticipation of the new game too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw about that. That, and I know, speaking of new games, that and Little Nightmares 3.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was being demoed at PAX West when we were there, but the
I
line
saw
was
that.
so long that we didn't want to stand in it. But man, some of our friends got to play the demo, and apparently it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Same question for you, Amy. What's been your favorite prop from a cosplay you've done?
Prop or
my favorite prop from a cosplay I've done. Oh my gosh, I have to think about that.
You've done props.
Yeah, I've done prop work before.
Yeah.
Not for the past few years though. Oh my gosh.
What about, well,
I
was gonna say Metaton.
The whole costume in itself
is
a prop.
Yeah.
I did do a Metaton cosplay from Undertale. It was like the actual, not the man, but the machine. That cosplay was very, very fun to make. Mostly because it was all made out of cardboard. It was plexiglass. Plexiglass was the front, and then I used like a stained glass window like coloring to fill in the windows to make it look like a little heart. And then the whole thing also had, what were those things? It was
the
called?
tubing, right?
They're like, it's basically like
HVAC tubing.
Yeah, it was basically like HVAC tubing, and then I got these like massive cartoon hands that I glued to it.
That's great.
So that was a really fun one. I only wore it once just because like it was very cumbersome to wear, but I do still have it.
in the garage.
Yes, but it is like the entire costume itself was a prop.
Nice.
Hmm.
Let's see
Yeah, that right.
here. Now on to some cosplays you guys done. Since you both are a couple, I actually, it's a question I haven't asked in a while.
Hmm.
What's been your all-time favorite and least favorite couples cosplay? As in, a least favorite mean like you guys were curious about the characters, but it didn't fit the vibe.
I don't
So
know.
favorite and then least favorite.
I don't know if we have a least favorite in the vibe
Like
category.
ones that we've done or ones that we've seen.
Um, so like, so like, so what's been your favorite couples cosplay that you two have done together, and what's been kind of your okay-ish one that you've done together?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go first because I don't know.
We have done so
We
many.
have done so many.
I really enjoyed when we did Hanako-kun in Nene from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. We only wore that costume once on day 3 of SakuraCon a couple years back.
Toilet bound what now?
And it's called Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
Oh no, cool. I'm just gonna put in the name of the anime, and when I send you the list, you'll know.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I'm making a list of like who did what cosplay, and if you did a duo cosplay, I just put both.
Oh yeah, that's
I,
perfect.
Yeah.
I've never heard of toilet bound. I'm not even gonna try to fucking pronounce
No.
that word.
Yeah, that
It's
was cute.
it's a super cute anime, but there's also a lot of like mystery and intrigue because it basically follows a girl named Nene who is our main character, and she like accidentally summons a ghost, but it's based off of traditional Japanese folklore
Hmm.
of was it Hanako of the toilet? I
Oh,
believe.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I've seen people cosplay from this. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen people cosplay a lot of these characters.
Yes.
Yes.
Mainly the one in the middle and the one with the
And-
hat.
Yes, yes, that was our
Yeah,
couple's cosplay when we
I
did
was
it.
Nene and she was Hanako, who's the one in the hat.
Those costumes were a little bit last minute, so we did end up like not making them. We ended up buying them, but the way that we like wore it and dressed it up, I just really enjoyed being that couple because we are invested in those characters' relationships, and it was really nice to actually be able to like take that love to the next step, to like actually be able to cosplay these characters that we are actually emotionally invested in with where their relationship goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, like now, yeah, when you said that when I had to look it up, it's like, okay, I've heard of those characters before.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Do we want to go
You wanna go for my
favorite
favorite?
and then least favorite,
Yeah,
least
I can
favorite?
do. Yeah, I can do my favorite. I think my favorite was actually when this is such a cursed couple cosplay. I think you know what I'm gonna say. It's Amy was in Yoshikage Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, and I was in Raimi, who is the girl that he kills. His first victim.
That was his first victim.
And
Yeah.
it was absolutely hilarious because when people would ask for photos of us, you would like get on your like on one knee, basically.
That was a really fun pose.
And it was
yeah.
very silly because people were like, okay. And
not realizing that it was like him showing affection for the character's hands because his trophies are taking the hands of his victims. So when we posed, I would hold her hand and look at her hand.
So it was great. I really enjoyed that because it had a lot of spicy opportunities in like the worst way possible, and I just really enjoyed that.
Okay then. Can I say what one of my favorite of yours guys was?
Yeah,
When you
absolutely.
did I think it was when you did Leon and Ada Wong from Resident Evil.
Oh, yes, that is a classic. Yes.
Yes.
I absolutely love cosplaying Leon. I will take any opportunity to cosplay Leon. Everyone just like start messaging me in my DM saying, "Hey, I have an Ashley cosplay. Hey, I have a Louise. Hey, I have an Ada." And I'll just put on Leon, or hey, I've got like a Claire cosplay. I've got RE2 Leon. Like hit me up.
I mean, if anyone's familiar with Amy, they're definitely known for cosplaying from Resident Evil because you've done her Resident Evil 2 Claire, you've done her Code Veronica Claire,
Yes.
and you've done Leon, you've done Resident
Yes.
Evil 4 Leon. Have you done and
Jill.
Oh, you've done Jill. Have you? Did you do Ashley?
I did Ada.
Ada.
Ada. Oh, Ada.
The other Ada.
Yeah, the RE4 original
Classic
Ada.
Ada.
Oh, the where she's wearing her red dress.
Yes, yes. That
You're
is
the
6
OG.
Resident Evil cosplays. Like, if anyone ever wants to have an entire big Resident Evil group, I
You
can
got it.
fill
I
the
mean,
space.
We can do
I'm
it.
I'm down. I'm down for it. I still want to do that concept I talked about where it's young Leon looking into a mirror and the other side is like an old man version of Leon where he has like
Oh
a
my
beard and
gosh.
everything. I
That would
have
be
to
so
I have to get my jacket fixed, but I'm down for doing a old and young Leon
Yes,
from
let's
Resident
do it.
Evil.
I'll just put on RE2 Leon. It's been probably since 2019 since I've worn that costume.
We even have more Resident Evil planned because I want to do Chris from Resident
Ooh.
Evil 1, the concept art Chris, and you want to
Ooh.
do Wesker.
From
Ooh.
the RE1
Ooh,
original.
speaking of, so wait, so that is a future cosplay. You said Chris from RE1?
Yes, Chris and Wesker from RA1.
And I wouldn't even say that like I necessarily have a couple's costume that we've done that I didn't particularly like
Yeah, I mean,
or felt bad in.
yeah, no,
Ooh.
I don't have a for like to your other side. I don't really have one. Now I am on the more s- bad self-esteem side for costumes sometimes. I don't feel like I look very good in a lot of costumes. But that's not to say that any of them have been the vibes have been off or whatever. It's more just a me problem and not like a not I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself and that's really what matters. But sometimes I'll get photos back and I'll be like, "Oh God." But you know.
Oh, I get it. Speaking of Resident Evil,
Mhm.
at Port, I have to give a shout out to Portland Retro Gaming Expo. They got the cast of the remastered version of one.
They did.
Yeah,
I saw that.
which I was like, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, at first I thought it was the original from like the PS1, and then I said, like, still that's cool though that they got the cast
Yeah.
from the remastered PS2 and GameCube version.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. We were sent that a few days ago by a couple of friends who are going to that convention, and they sent it to us saying, "Okay, now this is the reason why you guys gotta go. You gotta meet them. You gotta get them to sign stuff. You gotta go and cosplay."
Like we get back from New York City.
Like the day
So
before.
I'm,
Nice.
Yeah, we may.
Um, nice. So now on to cosplays you've both done individually, starting with Amy. What's that one cosplay you've not done in so long that you would like to bring back?
Um, maybe either Vincent Brooks from Catherine, as per mentioned, or Gundam Tanaka from Danganronpa 2.
Yes.
I would now that I have
Gundam who? Tanaka?
his name is Gundam Tanaka from Super Danganronpa 2.
Okay. I'm just
I feel like my cosplay skills have evolved to the point where I can fix him up, if that makes sense. Make him like even more elevated than when I did
I'm
cosplay.
only familiar with the first Danganronpa, and I just recently started watching the anime based off the game.
Oh, nice, nice. He is in one of the seasons. So he's in the the despair arc,
Yes, he's
right? Yeah, so he's in
despair.
Danganronpa 3 anime. There's 2 arcs to it. There's the Hope arc and the Despair arc.
Yeah, I was looking that up on online about the other ones. It's like, okay, I gotta finish this one. I'll never play the games because I've heard the games are super long.
Yeah, they do take a long time to get through. I am still waiting for the day that they announce that they're gonna do a Super Danganronpa 2 anime, but I have also been waiting for years for them to announce a Super Danganronpa 2 anime.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a long
That's
time.
my favorite one.
Same question for you. And what's that one cosplay you've not done in so long that you would like to bring back?
There's a similar answer in that I would have to redo this because it's completely trashed at this point, this cosplay. I don't even think I have it anymore. But Meow from Space Dandy.
Oh, the cat that wears a
Yes,
beanie?
the cat. I
Mhm.
did the cat. I was like a humanoid version, and I gave myself like a long wig that I put into like pigtails to do the ears. And I had made the little wrap that he wears from a bed sheet that I bought at Walmart at 3 in the morning. And I also made the stickers from the bar, the booby stickers or whatever.
Mhm.
I made those, and I have the
From
file.
anyone wondering what Meow
Yes,
looks like from
I had
Space Camping.
Yes.
yes, I did meow.
Is he wearing Crocs?
Yes, I had
He is
orange
wearing
Crocs. They're
Crocs.
orange Crocs.
I love it.
But I would love to do that again and just do it better because I know I can. And it's also just was really comfortable and kind of fun because I gave out stickers to people that would come up
Mhm.
to me and like it was cute because people like recognized us because we were in a group because we had Dandy and we had a couple other people. But
I've got ideas for that.
I know you do.
I've got ideas for how to humanoid that.
I would love to hear that. I thought it was really fun and I would love to do it again.
Now, I also know you guys. Oh, give me. I gotta be right back. I gotta go do something real quick.
Oh,
Pants.
yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So we kind of talked about your now separate. What's been Amy? What's been your least favorite cosplay that you've done? It's kind of I call them one and dones.
One and done. At least favorite cosplay. I'll have to look in here. So generally the costumes I don't feel the best in are like some of my male costumes. So there's a few of them that like have gotten popular that I think I just don't look the greatest in. Um, gosh, so I don't think I look that great as 9S. And I
Oh,
have cosplayed him multiple times before,
yeah.
but
I remember seeing you guys did a 9S and I think 2B if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You did.
but I think I've like gotten to the point where I am ready to retire him just because like it takes so much time to actually look boyish now that I am 30 that I just don't know if I would look good as him anymore.
Yeah.
Plus, I can imagine what the vision's like when you're having to wear the blindfold.
Exactly.
Yeah, we never worked on changing those because there's a way to get around like wearing it and actually still being able to see, but we never did that.
My Metaton cosplay, as forementioned, that was from Undertale. That was a kind of a one and done situation just because it was uncomfortable to wear. And gosh, way back in the day, I did do a oh my gosh, what is his name? Yamcha. I did a Yamcha cosplay from
From
Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Ball.
Yeah.
Now, is short hair Yamcha or young or long haired Yamcha?
I did the long hair Yamcha version.
Okay, so
I
like,
I did really enjoy how the costume turned out. However, I am not buff, so I wasn't really like I didn't really enjoy my interpretation of him. Like I looked a little bit more scrawny, a little bit more feminine than I wanted him to look. So I only wore him once.
gotcha.
Hmm
Um,
For
s-
me,
yeah, same question. What's been your like one and done cosplay? It's just like in the vault, never to see the light of another day unless you feel like, hey, I want to bring this one back, but we'll
I
see.
know for a fact
like-
I'm never gonna bring this one back, but because I'm trying to sell it, or I was trying to sell it. But
Mhm.
it's Lapis Lazuli from Steven Universe. That's a lot
Isn't
of
it?
body paint.
Oh yeah, she's blue. I mean,
It's blue.
She's blue.
I've seen someone do a just a regular their own skin version, but they had like the blue wig and blue lipstick.
Yeah, I've done that as well. I did that at Colossal Con. We did like a bathing suit variants of all of the gems. We had a group at Colossal Con, and since Colossal Con is, a water park
Mm-hmm.
convention,
Oh, I've seen video on YouTube.
yeah. So so Lapis Lazuli it took me 4 hours to put on because of the body paint.
Oh,
Again,
good God.
we love colors, lovely bodysuits at the time. And I don't really like Steven Universe anymore, so
That's I mean I mean I'll say this it's died down. I mean you see people here and there oh kitty
Chris, say hi.
He's getting
like
hungry.
no.
Come
Like
on.
like the fandom's there, but at the same time, it's just like the Harry Potter fandom,
It's
you
like
Hella
know.
that.
toxic.
It's just it's died down and it's not as popular as it once was. Like, don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, I love Rebecca Sugar's work, you know, Adventure Time,
Yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
Steven Universe, and you know, the Fiona and Cake series that just came out last year.
Mhm.
But like, I feel like, and this is no hate to anyone, I always love them, but I feel like you just don't really see people like it. You'll see them once in a blue moon type of cons, like, hey, oh, hey,
Yeah.
you're cosplaying as my favorite character from so and so. I haven't seen that in like, you know, 80 years or so, you know.
Yeah, and
Me with Hitalia, whenever I see a Hitalia cosplayer,
Hitalia
I'm like,
cosplayer.
"Whoa."
Like,
Same with Aura on High School Host Club. It's less
yeah, absolutely. In the
like, you
same
know,
boat, but like, yeah, I'm just not in that fandom anymore. And I think the quality of the costume isn't that great. It probably doesn't fit me anymore either. It's been so long. So, you know.
Mhm.
that's fair. Back to you, Amy. What's your all-time favorite cosplay? As I call it a comfort cosplay now. That's to me, to him, like it's just something you always like to wear, or if you ever like anytime you get the chance to wear it, you will wear it.
Well, we did talk about one, but I'd say there's like two in the running. I did mention Leon.
Hmm.
Leon's a comfort.
So yeah, either RE2 Leon or RE4 Leon. I will wear him anytime, anywhere. I will also always wear Mikolash anytime, anywhere. I've worn him for three.
That big headpiece, like
Yes.
how
Oh, speaking of props, I should have brought that one
I
up.
know, I
I
forgot.
don't take 100% credit in that one. That one was actually a collaborative piece between me and my grandfather.
your
So
grandpa, you and your grandpa did really good work. That thing's what, standing like what, 4 feet, 3 feet tall?
it's about 3 feet,
About
I'd
3 feet,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial. I would say it comes up about halfway to
To
Emily's
me,
height.
yeah.
And that's from
Mhm.
Bloodborne, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, Mikolash.
Which I feel like a game needs a sequel now.
Oh, absolutely. We've waited long enough.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be up to 10 years.
PlayStation just recently said, "Oh, we have no idea for any IPs." Like, you have all these old IPs like Jack, Sly
It's because
Cooper,
they closed that studio down, so they don't assume that it's part of their IPs
It's
anymore.
so ridiculous. Like, yeah,
Ratchet and Clank, Infamous. Come on.
I know. I mean, Crash and Spyro used to be theirs too, but
Now
now
they're like
Microsoft
Activision.
owns them. It's like, stop
Micro
selling your IPs.
Stop selling your IPs and you'll have ideas.
What about Little Big Planet? That's a massive
Well, I mean,
mascot.
oh yeah, I forgot Little Big Planet. I mean, Astrobot just came back because they just announced like
They did
Mhm.
the
the
demo.
Astrobot universe, because I just saw a picture of Joel and Ellie Astrobot from, you know, their Last of Us skins.
That was another demo at
That was the
PAX
demo at
West.
PAX.
We stood in line for that one.
We didn't play the demo though. We just played the game.
We played the game to get that.
I want a little Astrobot now.
Ah,
I
that would
know
be
it'd be so
so
Because
cute.
they just announced the Astrobot controller for the PS5.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the line for that demo was like just
Again, I seen pictures and it's like, note to self.
oh yeah, that was one of the ones that people were most excited for too. It had its own space. It wasn't even part of the expo hall. It was like at the top of like a set of elevators and then to the right, but it had like its
Weird.
own space.
It was really
Nice.
weird.
But
Mhm.
back